Good Friday morning to everyone. This is that jammy door. Doesn't matter how much I shave the sides of it, it just keeps jamming. I think it's probably where, excuse me, the stone cottage is kind of slowly sinking as they do, you know. Stone walls never really stay in one place, if you know what I mean. They sort of move about a bit, and anyway, I have a sticky door. There's been a sticky door there for 17 years. So, good morning. I have my coffee with me. So I'm doing this one-handed here. A raw video. I'm going to walk over here into the shade. So, finished off all the gravel yesterday. Finished putting it down. Look at the wonderful London Pride here. My grandsons, who are now in their 20s, when they were, I think, 7 and 8 years old, I taught them a little bit about mixing cement, you know, concrete, and putting stones in place, and they built these steps. Now, the bottom bit looks nice and straight because I was teaching them how to shutter, which means putting a board in a straight line and another board a little bit of distance away from it and pouring some cement in. Anyway, shuttering sounds terribly professional, I know, but anyway, so these are the steps that they built. Now, the land was very waterlogged, very dopey, very wet, as you know, and there was lots and lots of creeping buttercup on the sides of the steps. So every so often I'd pull a bit of it and I'd put in a little bit of London Pride. Now, I only ever put in about 3 or 4 bits of London Pride because I knew it would spread. And it does what I advise people to do, which is if you have a weedy spot, plant it out, meaning put plants in there that are going to push the weeds out. And London Pride is a great one for doing that. Also rubus, that's the fruiting one. But enough talk about that. I want to just show you the progression here on the gravel whilst I drink my coffee. Oh, sidetracked. There's more London Pride cascading down over the stones. I make these little stone planters because they cost nothing to make, just a little bit of effort. Isn't that right, Jack? So, I didn't have enough gravel to spread over everywhere, so I used it to make little paths. I filled in some bits, like round the doors, round the entrances, and the rest, as you can see, little paths. So we'll go for a little bit of a walk along these paths. I don't want to point the camera directly at the sun because it doesn't give you a good picture. So I'm going to walk here to the end, up to the arch, and then turn around and look back. Now look, I've got to buy more bird food this morning. And I go over to Ballyfarnan to the post office. A little bit of bird food in there. I hear my little twerper. Oh, you're in there this morning. Well, good morning to you too. Are you going to come out and say hello? Come on then. I still can't see you. Well, I can. A little bit. He's not frightened of Jack or anything. Come on, where are you? Okay. Right, sidetracked again. Look at all the leaves coming out on the black currants and all the other shrubs. Isn't that wonderful? So I'll just turn round. And there we go. There's the little path. So I'll walk back now because I've got my back towards the sun. It's about 9 o'clock, maybe 9:15, something like that. You see, there's more London Pride. I think through laying the gravel, it sort of made the greenery sort of pop out. Now I also, my Pieris and the great big milk churn with no bottom on it, well, that kept being blown over by the wind because it had got very top heavy. So what I've done, I've partially buried it into this bed, which in parts had got very weedy with creepy buttercup because of the dampness, and I've really firmed it in well. So I'm hoping now that in this new spot it will continue to flourish and it won't be blown over, and it's also sort of opened up this area a little bit. Okay, and the clematis here is budding, so I'm very happy about that. No Jack, I'm not going round that way. I'm going to go down towards one of the entrances to the fairy wood. And just partake of the greening. Let's go down these steps. There we go. And the fairy wood is always quite silent. You can hear the wind. Sounds a bit like the ocean. You can see now where all the gaps have been filled in. Excuse me. So the foliage is just making everything more dense. And so that ability to see through the trees and on further is just closing down that window now. So this is almost the end of March. April's on its way. Look at this spindle. It's all coming out in leaf. And pyracantha. That's a huge shrub now. And the cotoneaster. Oh, there's the boy running. He's on the run. Boy on the run. Now I'm going against the grain here doing these short videos because the the sort of urge I have is just to keep the camera rolling as I walk. But less than 10 will make it quite easy to upload. Well, relatively easy. Less than half an hour. This is more blackcurrant. I'll have a think about tomorrow's video and talk to you about planting food around a woodland garden. Because woodland really lends itself very well to growing food. And someone asked me about mushrooms. Well, of course, I've shown this on quite a few videos. October, November, when there's been massive amounts of mushrooms here. And the one that grows that I'm very familiar with and is the most popular here in terms of just amounts, is the shaggy inkcap, and so that's always a treat to look forward to in the autumn. The shaggy inkcap mushrooms. Now I've gone over my 10 minutes. So blessings to you all, and have a lovely, lovely Friday. It's all happening now, all this beautiful spring. It's just so happening. Blessings to you all.